Hey guys, today we're going to build a solar shower for my camper. But before we start, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the design and how it differs from pretty much everything else out there. Most of them out there, the designs usually follow two ways of thinking. They'll just get a pipe, which we have our pipe, and they'll take something like a spigot and stick it in there. They'll put a valve in, a pressure valve, and that's all they'll do. And that works pretty good actually if, say, you're a surfer, or you just do overnighters and you only need it for just a quick overnight or something like that. The problem with that is you can't refill without a hose. And the idea is your hose is charging the air pressure because you've got about 60, somewhere around there, 60 pounds of pressure once you've filled it up. And they've got the pressure relief valve just in case it goes to whatever pressure. So on the second design is they'll take like a Y and they'll add this piece in there with this threaded thing, and you can add water this way. The big problem with that is with this large diameter threaded piece, it's hard to get a seal, and that seems to be a big issue with a lot of people out there building these. And then of course they'll still put a pressure gauge or a pressure relief valve, and they'll also put in an air valve, and then they'll put this at the bottom here. Some of them will actually turn this upside down and put a cap, and then they'll put this down here, which is good because it drains all the water. If you're doing it this way, you're not going to get the full use of all your water. So what I've come up with is, my idea is don't use this. Okay, this is what we're going to use. This is I'm using 3-inch tubing. It's this stuff here, and it comes in black, so I don't have to paint it. It doesn't hold as high pressure, but we'll try it out to see if it works. But the big difference is this right here, 3-inch and 1.5 inches. And the reason for that is, number one, I can put this on, and being a smaller diameter, it's going to be easier to seal. And if it doesn't seal on its own, I can put a wrap or two of tape on there, put that on there, and it's good. Now when I'm out in the woods, say I'm out there for 3 or 4 days and I blow through my water, and it's been a day or two and I need a shower again after using my first supply, I can pop this off, put a couple of gallons in there, let it warm up in the sun, and I've got water again. On this side, I'll have the pipe out here. On this end, I'll put a cap, and underneath I'll put a cap here. And on the cap down here, we're going to put the spigot. This allows use of all the water, which is a good thing. And especially being I'm using a smaller diameter pipe, as my 3-inch pipe is only 3-inch, so it doesn't give me a lot of water. On this end, what we're going to do is we are going to not use the pressure valve. I may put one in later, but for now I'm going to do it without it, and I'll explain why. What we're going to do is we will put this valve in. This is the valve I've chosen because This is for an aluminum rim. You can buy them at the auto parts store for real cheap, and it comes with a rubber seal, and they obviously work because they use them on cars. So it's going to seal. So all you have to do is drill a hole and tighten it up, and that rubber gasket in there squeezes tight and seals everything. So that's how we're going to do that. On the lower cap, what we're going to do is we're going to drill and tap. And I don't have a straight tap, I do have a pipe tap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe tap in to the minimal amount so I can just get this threaded in, because this is a normal thread, this isn't a pipe thread. And I'm going to thread that in, and then we're going to use this lock nut for the back end of it. What we'll do is we will coat this with some glue, thread it in, and then we'll thread this in the back side, and that will add to the seal, and it will also make it stronger. And it's going to look like that. Okay. Then that will be down here. Put a cap on the end, and that's going to be our working end of the tank. All right, one other thing before we start is, how are we going to charge it? Say you're out in the woods and you know, you put a few gallons in there and there's no air pressure. Well, leaving it in the sun, if you do it first thing in the morning, it's obviously going to get a little air pressure from the heat. But what I'm going to use is, I have this, it's a LEXIN air pump, and this is, I bought this for my motorcycle when I go out in the woods. And it will charge up to 100 pounds of air pressure. So what I can do is, as this thing is sitting here, I can connect it and turn it on and set it at a certain air pressure, and it'll never go above whatever pressure I put on it, up to 100 pounds. So that'll work out real well. When this gets needs to be recharged, I can put it on my power source in my camper throughout the day, get it charged back up for the next time I need it. Okay, let's get building. All right, we're going to glue this together, and I just wanted to try Flex Seal and to see if it would work, and this would definitely be the time to try it. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray this. Okay. There we go. Now we'll thread it in. So what I'm doing is dabbing Flex Seal around the bottom, because I don't want to get it on the sides, because I want to still be able to glue the pipe. Okay, looks pretty good. Put this on. By the way, it's about 110 out here right now. It's hotter than hell. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh my God. Alright guys, we're all done assembling the project. Up top, of course, is the filler intake, and down below is your spigot. Normally everybody puts their air line over here with their pressure valve, but I went ahead and put my air line over here as I'm thinking I'm going to want to run a permanent air line from here to inside the camper where I'll have my pump. And over at this end, at the front of the camper, it's a better location, so I went ahead and did that. Next, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do some air pressure tests, or not air pressure tests, but water pressure tests, and see how it does. Alright guys, so I went out and tested this, and what I did first was I filled it and then charged it up to 100 pounds PSI, and it started to leak up here at 25 pounds. So what I did was I took this off and I taped it and then brought it back up to 100 pounds, and it held. So everything was good at that point. So what I did at that point was I drained it, and then I went ahead and filled it up with cold water and let it sit outside, and I think it got up to, I don't know, over 100 degrees. So it was pretty hot today. It was hard to actually hold this because it was so warm. And at that point, I had charged it to 25 pounds, and it didn't really gain any, maybe a pound it showed on my gauge. So I don't see a need for a pressure relief, because if it didn't gain that much pressure with for a few hours out in the sun, it's probably not going to do much. And if I only charge it to 25 pounds, it's going to be fine. 25 pounds, I tested it at 100 pounds the spray and 25 pounds the spray. Not much difference between the two, maybe a little bit, you could tell, but not much. 25 pounds is way more than enough that I need. So what I'll do is I'll just charge it at 25 pounds, leave it at that, and not worry about it exploding from overpressure. Hey guys, if you like this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be doing a lot more videos like this in the future, and we'll see you then.